Family is so important when at times like this.
It really is. And of course, we can talk about the longevity of the Queen and we can refer to her as Her Majesty. I think it's really important to remember she is a mother, she is a grandmother, she is a sister. You know, this is about a woman who has spent so long on the throne, but she's also, you know, a member of a family, and she's a much-loved lady. And it's important to remember that to think of her in that way and not just as a public servant.
And do people say why they have come to Buckingham Palace? Because, of course, we know that she's in Balmoral in Scotland. But why do they say they think it's important to go to Buckingham Palace?
I mean, it's, you know, even though the Queen spends most of her time up at Windsor and at Balmoral, this feels like a focal point for coming to think and pray for the Queen. I mean, we saw people coming here after Diana died. It's often a focal point for a lot of tourists that come to London to come to Buckingham Palace. It's one of the most famous buildings in the world, and so that's why people felt they had to be here. It's an iconic building. It's one of the homes of the Queen, and so a lot of people feel that they had to come here. They were here just for a day trip, just here in London, and then the news broke, and a lot of people are still trying to take it in. In fact, I should say earlier, we saw, I did see some people that were in tears with the news about the Queen, and they were very much hoping that she will pull through.
Are strangers talking to each other? Are they sharing how they feel in perhaps an un-British way?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Not just in the British way, the French way, the German way, the American way. Everyone's just talking to everyone, and there's only one topic of conversation, and that is concern for the Queen. How is she doing? Can't quite believe it's happening. Hopefully she's going to pull through. Obviously she's 96 years old, she's not been in a good way, but we're all hoping and praying for her, and people are kind of lost for words, to be honest.
And Paul, we understand that there was a sign a little earlier outside Buckingham Palace saying no guard-changing ceremony today. That, I think, maybe was removed then by officials, but indication that, you know, things are not as they are normally.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that sign was put out earlier today. It's then been removed, but there will be no changing of the guard tomorrow, and that gives us an indication that the usual state of affairs around here, the usual things that happen on a Friday, on a Saturday, are being changed. A different schedule is being put in place for potentially what may come later tonight, tomorrow, or indeed over the weekend. So yeah, absolutely, things here not as they normally are, and there's a real feeling of sadness and worry around Buckingham Palace at the moment.